changes it. It says, no, the last one to touch it was Ojan Wuda. And TCU will have the basketball with 15:33 to play here in this first half. Horned Frogs are down by 1, 9-8 right now. Back we come courtside here at Shomai Arena after this timeout. And a word from Coles.
Serious question. Have you ever shopped deals so good that you had to go back for round 2? Because I have. Yep, I'm talking about Kohl's clearance. I just saved 85% after an extra 50% off so many, maybe too many, great finds. I got myself fleece sweats and a coat, my kids some PJs, my husband a sweater, and more. So going back to Kohl's.
The list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Tom Thumb is making shopping and saving easier than ever. Check out Tom Thumb for You in our mobile app, where you can shop for groceries online and save over $300 weekly with digital coupons all in one place. Plus, earn rewards every time you shop in-store or online and redeem for free groceries or gas savings. Download the Tom Thumb app or go to TomThumb.com to start saving today. Tom Thumb, DFW's grocer since 1948.
Opening half, Baylor with a 1-point lead right now, 9-8 on the Horned Frogs. Frogs started this ball game 4 of 8 from the floor. Baylor's 3 of 5. It's been pretty much dead even here early on, but the Frogs have forced 2 turnovers by the Baylor Bears here early on.
Yeah, the only difference in the game so far is a toe of Avery Anderson on the three-point line. Otherwise, the game would be tied 9-9, but nice effort right out of the gate from Xavier Cork. Good minutes from him starting at the post. And then also Jameer Nelson, just, wow, what a start for him defensively. With a couple of really nice plays. And then the big jam over top of EVC as well.
Horned Frogs honoring the 10 seniors here. Micah Peavy, Emmanuel Miller, Avery Anderson, Jameer Nelson, Chuck O'Bannon, Trey Tennyson, Xavier Cork, Jacoby Coles, Darius Ford, and Isam Mustafa. The 10 seniors on this roster. There's some eligibility left that, that could fluctuate a little bit, but right now, you got 10 that could leave.
Yep, I think we're just, 1 more year away from a senior actually being a senior?
Yeah, exactly.
And all the extra COVID years are in the rearview mirror?
Yes.
So we'll be able to know who's got eligibility, who doesn't anymore.
An odd twist on that. Our producer-engineer Blake Jones has claimed to be 22 for the last 5 years because of COVID. Just he's not adding years anymore, so not bad. 15:33 to play here in this first half. It's 9-8 right now. Baylor with a 1-point advantage right now. Of course, the Frogs won the first one 105-102. That was an overtime affair. And Waco here in Fort Worth right now. Faithful reacted to Sonny Dykes on the big screen. Kirk Sarlos as well, the head baseball coach.
Made it at the baseball game yesterday with the fans. Frog ball looking pretty good so far this year.
Yeah, nice sweep of UCLA for TCU baseball. Here's Jameer Nelson. Now Trey Tennyson. Tennyson brings it up. Trey gives him Jacoby Coles. Mustafa stays out there, sets the screen left-hand side. It goes Peavy now. Back out front it goes Coles. Baylor showing a different look defensively here. Peavy around the screen from Mustafa. Travel, drug the foot. Slides with it, and back it goes out of TCU.
And the initial move when Tennyson caught the ball on the right wing is he dribbled away, and Jacoby Coles kind of filled in behind him to his empty spot. He was wide open. It would have been a wide open three. I think the coaching staff will notice that, and they'll run that play and get Jacoby Coles a wide open three there.
Out front with it now is Jaden Nunn. Skip it in the corner left. Catch here for Ray J. Dennis for the jumper that doesn't go. There's Coles with the rebound. Jacoby clears it out. Jameer Nelson pushes. Kicks it right-hand corner. Peavy. Back it'll go to Nelson. Nelson swings at Coles. Jacoby back Nelson again. Look down low at Mustafa in the corner. Nelson threw it away. Right into the hands of Jalen Bridges.
Jalen Bridges having a nice game so far.
Yes.
3 out of 3 from the three-point line. A couple of rebounds and also a steal there.
Here's a deep three that doesn't go. Peavy's on the run. Got a lead out. Coles catch to the rim for the lay-in good. Frogs up 10-9 right now with 14:20 11:28 to play in this first half.
Jacoby Coles will be the first one to tell you he's not the first one down the floor every time, but he was that time. Got the easy lay-in.
Out front with it now is Ray J. Dennis. Dennis gives it up here. Jalen Bridges. Back out top, it goes Ojan Wuna. Mishandles it. Nunn bails him out. Frogs can double team there, but instead Mustafa backs off. And Nunn's going to reset here with 10 on the shot clock. Right-hand side, it goes Dennis. Ray J working on Trey Tennyson around Trey. In the lane with a floater. Got that one to go. Does Ray J 13 points for the year. That's his average. His senior out of Plainfield, Illinois. Puts Baylor up by 1, 11-10.
That was a tough drive right there. Got his elbow all up in Tennyson's face and probably could have called a foul on Tennyson. Was able to get through it. Make it all the way to the basket.
Nelson skips it corner left. Now Jacoby Coles got his man in the air. Puts it up off the glass. Scores it and is fouled here by Jalen Bridges.
Jacoby off to a nice start here in this game as well. Of course, had 18 points last game against Cincinnati. He's really starting to heat up again as he led the team in scoring those first 7 games of the year.
Frogs, a couple of substitutions. Jameer Nelson and Micah Peavy check out. Avery Anderson returns, as does Chuck O'Bannon for the first time now. Jacoby Coles to the free throw line, 76% free throw shooter. Knocks it in.
Chuck O'Bannon, of course, had a great game down in Waco in the Frog win. Had 3 very large three-pointers all in the second half that helped keep the Frogs in that game.
Finished with 11 points and 3 boards. 13-11. Frogs by 2 right now. Here's a catch and shoot off the screen. 3-pointer that goes for Jacoby Walter. Good-looking freshman. Adam McKinney scores that one. Baylor back out in front, 14-13.
Yeah, he's got great elevation on the jump shot, high release. He's going to be able to get that shot off at the next level.
Hard to defend, yet we saw Jameer Nelson block him earlier. Here's Tennyson out front now. That's Avery Anderson. Entry comes to Isam Mustafa for the baseline jumper. That doesn't go. The rebound taken out of there now by Jalen Bridges. Back the other way comes Baylor, sporting that 1-point advantage at 14-13. Ojan Wuna sets a big screen on O'Bannon. Out front it comes now to Jacoby Walter. Walter into O'Bannon going baseline. No-look pass in the corner. Catch and shoot again. This 3 doesn't go, and Mustafa grabs the board on the miss by Bridges. Lead out now to Jacoby Coles from Avery Anderson. Mustafa was passing by, but did not get the pass from Coles. Instead, it came back out front. Here's O'Bannon baseline, cornered up and covered up. Gives it up now to Jacoby Coles. Back out front it goes Tennyson. Here's Anderson between the circles. Avery, Tennyson for the deep 3, in and out. And a rebound taken out of there by Jalen Bridges.
Boy, nice defensive effort right there from Baylor. They were all over the Frogs on every time they touched the ball there.
Mustafa comes up with a steal of the ball, knocked away by Anderson. Here's Tennyson, leaves it for Anderson in the corner, who thought about the 3. They'll reset it in the half court now. Probably a wise decision there. 12:15 to play in the half. Anderson feeds Coles, who's bumped and fouled by Ojan Wuna. And Jacoby's going to go back to the free throw line now with 12-12 to play in this first half and an opportunity for 2 free throws.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen Jacoby Coles catch the ball that low and not throw a pump fake to get the guy in the air. Works out in his favor, though. Goes up strong quickly. Puts Ojan Wuna in a tough spot and has to foul him. Goes to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
14-13. Baylor leads it here. Jacoby to the free throw line now. Coles, one of those 10 seniors. Free throw is good for Jacoby out of Denton Guyer. Transfer from Butler, as we mentioned. They'll get a second effort. Xavier Cork back into the lineup now for Isam Mustafa.
More good minutes there from Mustafa. A couple rebounds. Playing tough down there.
Coles, second free throw. A little flat, and that one doesn't go for it. Rebound taken out of there now by Baylor. Myro Little, a freshman out of Finland, is on the floor for the first time, operating as a point guard, with Ray J. Dennis out of there. Frogs double team out front on Walter. Left-hand wing, catch here now Bridges. He'll fire the jumper and score it. Another 3 for Jalen Bridges.
Yeah, it's 4 threes now for him. He's on fire right now. Frogs did a great job of jumping that initial ball screen.
Coles with a nice look inside, finds Xavier Cork, who had great possession on Jalen Bridges, able to score that one for the Deuce. And TCU back within 1 at 17-16.
Yeah, Cork off to a great game so far. 6 points early in this game.
Out front with the basketball now. They give it up, Misi. Misi in traffic, works on Cork in the lane. Spins with a jump hook. Doesn't get the roll. But a foul here on Xavier Cork. He's going to give Misi a couple of free throw opportunities now with 11:21 to play here in this first half. Back and forth we go between Baylor and TCU. Right now, Frogs trail by 1, 17-16. Baylor with the advantage. Back after this local timeout here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
There are those who see the world through a different lens. You take risks. Who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
TCU men's basketball season tickets are on sale now. The Horned Frog schedule is loaded with matchups facing nationally ranked opponents, historic rivals, and Big 12 newcomers. With a loaded roster jammed with all conference returning standouts, highly ranked recruits, and high-flying freshmen. It all starts November 6th inside Schollmeyer Arena. Visit GoFrogs.com and secure your seats today. Defend Fort Dixon and Go Frogs.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit TCUFrogClub.com to join today.
Chris Blake back to the Horned Frog Sports Network studio, checking in on what else is going on around the country tonight. Just one other ranked team in action tonight. That is 9th-ranked North Carolina hosting Miami. Carolina wins this one 75-71 behind 42 points from the ACC's leading scorer, R.J. Davis. No other Tar Heel had more than 8 tonight. UNC is first in the ACC, a game and a half up on Duke, which hosts Louisville on Wednesday. One other Big 12 game tonight as well. K-State hosting West Virginia. Brian, the Wildcats led by 22 points with 10:22 to go. We're in overtime. Wildcats lead at 91-88.
Wow. 11:21 to go here. It's a one-point ball game. Baylor leading it on TCU 17-16. Ironically enough, Chris Blake highlighting that Miami-North Carolina game. R.J. Davis going for 42, as he mentioned there. Former Tar Heel great Buzz Peterson joining us here at the scores table. Former roommate of Michael Jordan back on the 82 National Championship team. Good player in his own right out of Asheville.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Known for more than Jimmy and a roommate.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, the assistant GM of the Charlotte Hornets, you mentioned there are how many scouts here tonight?
28 from 20 teams, so some teams have multiple scouts here.
How about that?
They're seeing a show early on from a couple of the guys, too. Jalen Bridges already 4 out of 4 from three-point land for Baylor here.
Yeah, the Bears are 5 of 8 from behind the arc. Frogs 0 of 3 to start this ball game and still hanging into it. 17-16 right now. Baylor by 1. Jalen Bridges continues to rain threes. He's been hot of late. That's 3 straight games now where he's made 3 or more from behind the arc. As Jalen Bridges. Messi at the free throw line. Eves Messi, 7-footer, knocks in that first one. 58% free throw shooter on the year. Second effort is good. Messi made them both. 19-16. Trey Tomlinson, former cornerback for the Horned Frogs, plays in the league now, is here wearing a Reba McEntire t-shirt. He liked her national anthem, Blake Jones. Tried to tell Blake that. Here's Avery Anderson out of the top. Anderson to the left-hand side, feeds it off the corner to Tennyson. Floater doesn't go. Rebound, though, to Emmanuel Miller. Pump fakes, hesitates, got a block. Misa got a piece of that one. He's a rim defender there. Knocked that one away.
Yeah, Miller got 2 guys to jump, but the only one who didn't was Messi.
Yep.
And he was able to get up there and just get a piece of it.
Messi gives it up this time to Bridges. Jalen Bridges back out top. It'll come to Myro Little. Little on the dribble drive, back to the free throw line. Messi, the left-handed crossover this time, missed that one, and a rebound taken out of there by Tennyson.
Yeah, nice job. I think making him put it on the ground or on the deck is what you want to do here.
Another turnover, lazy pass by Tennyson. Ball knocked out of bounds by O'Bannon. Baylor's going to keep it, but Tennyson's pass went right directly into the hands of Jalen Bridges and was headed back the other way.
Trey Tennyson just a little too nonchalant with that pass there.
3 turnovers each now for the Frogs and the Bears. Out front with it now is Ray J. Dennis. Dennis marching between the circles, gives it now to Bridges. Bridges on Anderson to the elbow. Almost a steal by Miller. It ends up with Ray J. Dennis for the lob. Miller couldn't get it. Instead, it comes off into the hands of Misi, who lays it up and scores.
Yeah, tough position for Nelson to try to go up and swat that away from Missy. Just too much size.
Anderson with it now. 10 minutes left in this first half. Frogs are down by 5. Largest lead of the game for Baylor. 21-16 at Avery. Travely does. Another turnover here for TCU, so all of a sudden you've seen back-to-back turnovers by the Horned Frogs. Baylor with the basketball now with 9:55 to play.
Yeah, talked about it at the beginning, like when TCU doesn't turn the ball over, they are able to extend leads, and obviously that goes for most teams, but TCU especially, since they shoot the ball so well, 48% as a team on the season, since they shoot the ball so well, if you don't turn the ball over, you are going to be in games and most likely win the game.
Misi's being attended to. Not so sure what they're doing. Looks like they're actually giving him maybe another contact. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it looks like he's putting a contact in.
He'll come back out there. I've never worn contacts, so I have no idea how hard that is to do.
Horrible.
Yeah. But he just slipped that one in running down the floor.
Well, the last thing you want to do is your hands are kind of dirty from the ball and everything, is put it on your contact and stuff that in your eyes.
Here's Nunn with it out front now. Baylor with the basketball. They work left to right in their green uniforms. Bridges has it right, or make it Dennis, I should say. Ray J. Dennis bounces out front now to Misi. Misi looks for a handoff and gets it off here now to Walter. 5 on the shot clock. Forces a jumper here that doesn't go. Miller can't get the rebound. Mustafa, 2 hands on it, comes up with it and gives it down to Anderson, who almost threw it into Mustafa's head. Here's Miller. Back it comes now to Nelson. Nelson in traffic. The baseline left. Leaves it off for Anderson. Squares, fires, jumper off. Rebound taken out of there by Baylor. He's kind of floating through.
Yeah, I don't know how Nelson even saw him coming there. They must have practiced that all week.
Here's Dennison penetrating. Baseline. Running into Mustafa was Bridges. He lost the basketball and back the other way comes TCU.
Yeah, another good job by Mustafa being in the right position there.
Nelson takes it behind his back to feed Miller off the glass. Score it. And a foul.
And that's exactly what TCU needs to get Emmanuel Miller going here offensively. Leads the team in scoring. That's his first bucket of the game here.
Opportunity for that three-point play coming up for Emmanuel Miller here after this one. Miller will be at the free throw line.
I feel like the last few games, Emmanuel Miller's kind of had some slow starts in the first half. He always turns it on, ends up with 18 or 20 points in a game, but he gets the majority of those going in the second half. I'd like to see him really get something going here in the first half as well.
Free throw line right now. He's got his first 2. Let's see if he can add to it here at the free throw line. And does. 8:58 to play this first half. 21-19 right now. 2-point lead. Hodge climbing back in this one after being down by 5. Out of the top. Works Jaden Nunn. Nunn gives it up here to Caleb Lohner, who's into the lineup for the first time. Out of the top is Ray J. Dennis. 5 of the shot clock. Jumper for the elbow. In and out. Rebound. Avery Anderson goes high. Outlet quickly. Miller. Frogs want to run. Miller in traffic. Stumbles. Somehow scooped it. Missed it. Peavy couldn't get a hand on it. Lohner comes up with it.
I don't know how Miller even got that up to the rim, but as soon as he stumbled, he's got his feet caught up, I think, with it was either himself or with another Baylor player, but not enough probably to call a foul. Unable to get everything on that shot.
Caleb Lohner, the junior out of Flower Mound. Went to Wasatch Academy for high school. Out of the top with it is Jacoby Walter. Walter gives it up now. Ojon Wuna. Ojon Wuna matched up on Anderson. That's a mismatch. Frogs do a nice job, but Walter goes baseline. Had it blocked from behind by Coles into the hands of Lohner. Shot clock will expire.
Yeah, great job from Coles working back after he got beat down the baseline. Jameer Nelson stops the drive, forces him to go straight up, but Coles kept working back and was able to block it from behind.
Timeout on the floor now. 7:53 to play here in this first half. 21-19. Baylor leading it here on TCU. Back will come after this timeout. A word from Progressive Insurance.
Progressive knows we're all trying to save right now.
So, no pick sixes, no blitzes, no sacks.
Nope, none of that. But there's this cool move called a balestra. Oh, I think that was it. Or maybe it was that? I don't know, I'm still learning.
So, fencing tickets are cheaper than football, huh?
Yeah, but hey, now we know what a counter parry is.
Do we?
Progressive offers you savings without sacrifice. So save big when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Today we have two very special guests on our program. Introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip hop could be hop hip? Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
53 to play here in this first half. The Horned Frogs trailing by 2, 21-19 right now. Baylor with the advantage. Today's game brought to you in part by ECU. Proud to be the official credit union of the TCU Horned Frogs. Right now, the Frogs getting it done. On defense, they've held Baylor scoreless over the last 2:17 of this game, Colin.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of really shutting down driving lanes for Baylor. Baylor really staying in this game because they're knocking down threes at this point. Jalen Bridges, of course, 4 out of 4. We talked about that already. But as a team, they're 5 out of 10. So shooting at a nice clip and really pacing Baylor right now.
Frogs with 7 assists. They've been out, as you said, sort of pushing the tempo a little bit. Frogs with 5 fast break points. Should be more than that, really.
It feels like it should be. Just a couple of missed opportunities on the break. But TCU getting a lot of stuff in the paint, too. They got 14 of their 19 points have been in the paint tonight. So opportunity to get stuff at the rim, especially when the threes aren't going. TCU 0 for 4 from 3 thus far. Keep going to the basket, man. You'll get there.
Timeout here. The under 8 media timeout. 7:53 to play here in this first half. We mentioned the Frogs are back in action on Saturday at BYU. That's another late tip, an 8 o'clock tip for that one. Our airtime will be at 7:30 along the network for the Mountain Time Zone in Provo, Utah. First trip there for the Frogs since the days of the Mountain West. Out of the timeout, Jameer Nelson and Avery Anderson, along with Emmanuel Miller, Micah Peavy, and Jacoby Cole. So that smaller lineup on the floor right now for TCU, even though Josh Ojonwuna is out there at 6'10" for Baylor.
I think you can get away with this with Missy on the bench for Baylor here. Ojonwuna's a big guy as well, but Missy's that really polished offensive player down there for them.
7:40 to play. Nelson out front. It comes Anderson, another steal, another lazy pass, and a turnover on the perimeter. And that's the length of Jalen Bridges coming into play.
Well, also it's just having your hand in the passing lane just in case they happen to throw it. And if Anderson's not looking at where his target's going, and he just throws it to him, it's an easy steal.
Frogs get bailed out. Lohner with a moving screen. Whistled for it and gives it right back down to TCU. That was 7:26 to go.
That's already 6 turnovers for Baylor. TCU with 5 here in the early going. I say early going, 7:26 to go here in the first half.
First personal whistle on Lohner. 21-19 right now. Team fouls at 4. Actually, that's Baylor's 5th. Here's Nelson. Bounced it to Peavy. It somehow gets to Emmanuel Miller. Frogs got to take better care of the basket.
Well, they're having trouble against this zone. Baylor's running this very good matchup zone right now.
Nelson for 3, in and out. Peavy got thrown to the floor, and this is going to be a foul on Baylor.
I hope Peavy's okay. He's still down here. He looks like he's getting up.
Yeah, he's tough. He's Duncanville tough, as you remind me.
A lot of boys that are Duncanville tough coming out of there.
That's going to be on Lohner, and that's going to be his second. Now, they're going to take a look at this one because I think the way that he hit the floor warranted this look.
Yeah, we didn't see it directly because we were looking, or at least I was looking over at the shooter more. We haven't seen a replay yet on our side. But if he doesn't get over and just try to box him out, if he just like two-hand shoves him to the ground, I mean, they could call something extra on this.
Officials taking a look at it.
But it wouldn't be a Big 12 game without a replay, Brian.
No, not at all. We were talking about that these games are lasting longer. It feels like usually college basketball games were 2 hours. Now they're 2:13, 2:14, and I think a lot of it has to do with the stoppages in play for the replay.
I mean, you could show some stats. I don't know what they are, but you could probably show if there's, on average, 4 reviews a game. They're getting 2 shots here at TCU.
Yeah, flagrant 1 whistled on Lohner.
We still haven't seen the replay. Oh, here it comes finally. Here's Peavy.
Lohner just shoves him with the left flipper.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play because Peavy's got all his momentum going in to jump for a rebound. And if he would have hit him after he left his feet, that could have been a very dangerous play. So while I don't necessarily like the call because I think basketball's a physical sport, I understand why they called it.
Free throw line goes Emmanuel Miller now. Knocks at the first. 1 point ball game, 21-20 with 7:01 to play in this first half. Miller's second free throw. Knocked it in. Ties this ball game, and now the Frogs will have the basketball with 7:01 to go. Lohner checks out of the lineup as Misi returns now.
Scott Drew is giving Rick Crawford, the official, an earful over there about the call as well. Of course, that's just lobbying so he can get the same call on the other end at some point.
Nelson trying to inbounds, does so out front to Trey Tennyson. Tennyson with it, works between the circles. Now it goes Emmanuel Miller. Miller back to Jameer. Jameer hands out a Peavy. Back out front it goes Tennyson. Trey, that's way off on that three-pointer. There was no rush there. I'm not sure why he shot that one.
No, you kind of feel like he's pressing a little bit. Has been for the last 3 weeks. Can't let your game be dictated by if you're making shots. Right. Though. Make a play on the other end.
Here's Misi. Puts it on the floor into Coles, who slapped it away. Out of bounds off of TCU.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know if that ball hit out of bounds first, but if it didn't, Jalen Bridges caught that ball standing out of bounds.
Here's another look that we get. Slapped away by Coles. It's inbounds.
That is out on Baylor. 100%. It could be a makeup call for the one before, though, because TCU definitely got the benefit of an earlier call that would have been out on Misi as well.
Here's Misi with it out front. It comes down to Dennis. Ray J, 8 on the shot clock. Ray J with it out front, 5 on the shot clock. Ray J, Frogs looking at the double team. Ray J skips it off in the corner. Knocked away by Nelson out of bounds with 1 second left. Nice job by Jameer on the recovery as Jacoby Walter, I should say, was established deep in the left corner and was wide open.
And Jacoby Cole, a nice job jumping that ball screen 30 feet from the basket. Really made it difficult on Ray J. Dennis to do anything there. Nothing going to the rim here for the Frogs.
Inbounds to come from Walter right in front of the TCU bench. Peavy defends it. Walter gets it inbounds. Catch, shoot at the buzzer. Davis off the glass. No. Dennis, I should say. RJ missing the rebound now for the Horned Frogs. Jameer Nelson in traffic on Ray J. Dennis blocked. Let's see. He was bumped, was Nelson. Are they going to call this a goaltend? Let's see.
I don't know that it was a goaltend from my initial angle here.
I think you're right. Misi got it high to the free throw line. Now we go to the Frogs.
Just shows you how good Misi is. And he's so athletic. He timed this the whole way. He just topped it right at the top. Yep. Oh, he's so good. What a great block. Still 2 shots here for Jameer Nelson.
First one's good for Jameer. 70% free throw shooter. Second effort. Made him open.
Plays like that, catching that shot at 12.5 feet, 2.5 feet over the rim is what all these NBA scouts are here to see.
Exactly. 23-21, 6 minutes left. Out of the top with it is Nunn. Nunn gives it up here to Jacoby Walter. Walter to Bridges. Now out top it goes Ray J. Dennis. Dennis looks for Misi, lost the handle on it. I tell you, Cole's done a nice job with quick hands, knocks this one away, loose on the floor. Bridges gets it 2-1, forces it at the buzzer. It hit the rim. Frogs have to get the rebound, and they do with Peavy. outlet now to Tennyson. Tennyson down the right-hand side. Leaves it for Peavy. Peavy in traffic. Off balance. Off the glass. No. Tipped out by Coles. Peavy fighting for it. Claimed now by Baylor. Back the other way comes Ray J. Dennis. Dennis steps through a double team. Lays it up and scores.
Frenetic action back and forth. Frogs unable to convert, and Baylor does on the other end. Ties this game back up at 23. Frogs have got to be able to make those shots there.
Out of the top with it now. Works Jameer Nelson. Nelson gives it up to Tennyson. Tennyson back Nelson again. Nelson had it knocked away. Into the hands of Jacoby Walter. Walter in traffic now. Gives it over to Nunn for the layup. Missed it for the foul. Frogs are going to be whistled for the foul according to Rick Crawford. Just on Tennyson?
It's on Tennyson. He bodied him up as he went up and not going vertical. Just enough contact on the lower leg there. Tough call, though. Luckily, the layup wasn't finished, so this is not an and one shot. 2 shots here.
Free throw line now. Goes Jaden Nunn, knocks in that first one. He'll have a second effort. 4:58 to play here in this first half. 24-23, Baylor leads it here by 1.
Coach Dixon's having a laugh over there with Rick Crawford, so I'd love to. Sometimes you just wish you were over there in the middle of the conversation. I understand what he's saying.
I think he also does a really good job of diffusing the situation by smiling.
Yeah, you have to. I'm saying this is such. We talked about this is a high stakes, high pressure game right now. You can't just blow up at everything.
25-23, 2-point ball game now. 4:48 to go. Here's Nelson for 3 out front. Jameer in and out, and a rebound out of Baylor.
You know, and I don't mind that shot. He had good separation off the dribble, stepping into the shot, just in and out. Unfortunate.
Here's Mason, gives it up now. Little, who's back into the lineup. Back between the circles, it comes to Ray J. Dennis. Frogs have stayed in the man-to-man the entire first half. Out front with it. Dennis on the dribble drive. And a foul here. This is going to be a clear out. This is a good call. And they could have gotten the bump on Jacoby Coles on Dennis, I thought. But instead, they went with the clear out by Misi that created the space for Dennis.
Yep, as soon as you set a screen, and if the defender runs into you, you cannot leave until that defender disengages you. He definitely stepped over to impede, kind of with his right hip there to impede Jacoby Coles there.
Gives it back down to the Horned Frogs. Misi whistled for that one. And that's his second personal foul. He'll have to check out as Ojon Wuna comes in now for 4:23 left in this half. Tennyson with it. Baylor stays in the zone. Left-hand side, it goes to Chuck O'Bannon. I will say that the zone has slowed the tempo down a little bit.
I think that's exactly what they want. They don't want TCU out running fast break points. Best fast break team in the country.
They don't need another 100-plus game from this team. Here's Anderson to the elbow with a crossover. Jumper doesn't go. Unlucky on that one. Had a good look at it. It's a nice pass, by the way, by Chuck O'Bannon. Back the other way comes Baylor.
Yeah, nice job not settling for that three-pointer, too. A little pump fake. Gets into the much easier scoring area. Just unable to convert.
Walter with it out front. Jacoby working on Emmanuel Miller. Walter down the right-hand alley. Step back. Jumper over Miller doesn't go. Rebound being fought for. Bridges gets it, but he's out of bounds. Bridges says, they're pushing me. Rick Crawford says, welcome to the Big 12. Time out of the floor. 3:43 to play here in this first half. 25-23. Baylor leads it here by 2. And back we come courtside here in Fort Worth after this timeout. And a word from Coors Light.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Orange Theory, let's turn it up.
Are you ready for the life-changing fitness experience that helps you redefine your limits? You are faster here, you are stronger here, and you get more results here. Because here, you have the coaches, community, and group energy coming together to push you forward every class with scientifically designed full-body workouts and technology to track your results and prove you're improving. Welcome to Orange Theory Fitness. Book a free workout today at orangetheory.com. See studio for details.
TCU teams and traditions are legendary, and Our team at Strategic Wealth Designers are proud to be a partner of TCU Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Horned Frogs Trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today. And go Horned Frogs.
Chris Blake back in the Horned Frog Sports Network studio. One other game in the Big 12 has gone final. That was in Manhattan, Kansas, where K-State holds on after blowing a 22-point second-half lead to beat West Virginia in overtime, 94-90. That lead was with just over 10 minutes to go, but the Mountaineers outscored the Wildcats 31-9. K-State's Tyler Perry ultimately led all scorers in that one with a game-high 29 points. New AP poll came out today, Brian. 4 Big 12 teams among the top 15, but the Big 12 loses a couple as BYU and Texas Tech drop out of the rankings.
How about that? Texas Tech, hard to take them out of the top 25. I think that's a quality basketball team.
There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of quality basketball teams in this league, Brian. Every single night we see one, it seems like. It truly is remarkable how difficult every single conference game has been. Even for against the newcomers to the league this year that you don't have a lot of history with, but still tough games.
Well, you and I were just talking about the fact that when the Horned Frogs go to West Virginia here mid next week, that's going to be a booger bear. It's going to be hard in Morgantown.
I mean, you said it earlier in the broadcast. Frogs have never won in Morgantown, which is a remarkable stat. We've been in the Big 12 for, 10 years now? 12 years now, excuse me.
Yeah. Luxor Staffing, DFW's premier staffing agency, standing by ready to help you find the right employees, homegrown, deeply rooted in the TCU community. Luxor Staffing has 10 local, fully bilingual recruiting offices that can help with your staffing needs anywhere in North Texas. Visit them online today at luxorstaffing.com. Learn more about how they do staffing right. All right, out of the timeout, Avery Anderson and Trey Tennyson. Emmanuel Miller, Chuck O'Bannon, and Issam Mustafa on the floor.
Frogs only 1 out of the last 10 and 0 for the last 6 here. Nice little scoring drought for them, 228. Want to finish this last 340 of the first half on a good run here.
Tennyson out front, it comes out of Avery Anderson. Anderson entry now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller tried to feed it to Mustafa, slapped away from behind by Ojon Wooden, and Baylor comes up with it. Another turnover here for TCU. It's number 7. Out of the top, Ojon Wooden in the lane around Mustafa, missed it, and a rebound out of Emmanuel Miller. He was hit as he comes down with it. Instead, he'll outlet now to Avery Anderson. Avery pushes, leaves for Mustafa, back to Miller. Miller skip it corner left. Pump fake here for O'Bannon. Back it goes Tennyson for 3. Trey in and out. Just unlucky. Mustafa gets it taken away from him. Yeah. Bridges with it.
Yeah, Mustafa looked like he had a beat on that one, too. Yes. Bridges came in, just ripped it away from him.
2:59 to play in the half. 25-23, Baylor leads it here. That first meeting was a triple-digit affair. 105-102, 2 overtimes. None to the rim. Missed it. Rebound now, Tennyson. Trey leads it out. Left-hand side it goes. Corner. O'Bannon. Big game Chuck misses. Mustafa with a rebound. Issam in traffic. Bump. Double team. Working it. Out to Tennyson. 13 on the shot clock. Miller swinging around to Anderson. Anderson back out top. Miller again. Off it goes to the right wing now to Trey Tennyson. Feeds it off O'Bannon. Turn around, fall away 14. In and out. A rebound now back the other way, Baylor. Chuck missed 2.
Yeah, nice patience there from the Frogs on offense, but that was just a tough shot for Chuck.
None out front now. Gives it up to Myro Little. Ojon Wooden. Not a ton of offense on the floor right now for Baylor. Here's Bridges. Bridges can light it up, though. Over O'Bannon, jumper doesn't go. Long rebound. Ojon Wooden comes down with it. Spinning the lane. Swinging as I'm making a Walter. And a foul here on the Horned Frogs. They're going to get Trey Tennyson on the reach in.
I mean, when I used to get rebounds, I'd get frustrated. Everybody's hugging me like that, too. But you can't just start swinging
right. Well, you used to cut on the playground.
Yeah, well, nobody would get that close to you because people would swing on you like that. Jacoby Walter obviously protecting the ball there.
Yeah. Foul on Tennyson. That's going to be his second. Team foul number 6 of the Horned Frogs. Inbounds to come from Ray J. Dennis underneath the basket. Takes his time. Ball's knocked away, tapped away into the hands of Bridges. Bridges, baseline foul. Reach in, and that's going to be on Nelson, I do believe.
Frogs just unlucky there. That ball almost squirted out to Miller for an easy breakaway. ends up in the hands of Bridges. He ends up on the free throw line here after taking one on the chin.
25-23 to the line goes Jalen Bridges. Transfer from West Virginia. Played at Fairmont Senior High School in Fairmont, West Virginia. 4 straight state championship games in high school there. They went 2-2 with him.
I like the way the game's been called thus far. Only 15 total fouls in the game, 7 against Frogs, 8 against Baylor. Really letting it play tonight.
Miller gets the rebound on the miss. Off it comes now to Chuck O'Bannon. Out front with it is Avery Anderson. Anderson, left-hand side it goes now. Entry to Jacoby Coles. Turn around to the lane. Doesn't get it. Rebound ripped out of there by John Wuna.
Frogs just unable to knock any shots down right now. That's 0 for their last 10 and 1 of their last 14. It's not like Baylor's like really playing just incredible defense. TCU just not knocking down shots right now.
John Wuna catches now. Jacoby Coles out between the circles. It comes to Nunn. Nunn. Down to 5 with the shot clock. Gives it up front here to Jacoby Walter. Walter had his pocket picked by Anderson. Tried to outlet the bad decision. Threw it right back to Baylor. Catch here for Nunn to the left-hand side. Leaves it off this time. Jaden's got it at the left wing. Takes it in traffic. Cole stays with him. Knocked away. O'Bannon tries to save it. Does so on the other end. Tries to get it to Emmanuel Miller, who can't get there, and it goes out of bounds. Baylor will keep.
Avery Anderson, the senior, he knows he's pitting his chest. You can't turn that ball over right there. I know you want to go down and get an easy layup or a dunk on the other end, but an underhand, literally under, like he was bowling, underhand, one-handed pass that as soon as he let it go, he knew it was going to be intercepted.
Jamie Dixon was livid at Avery Anderson there.
I like that he kept him on the floor here, though.
Yeah. Walter with it now. Another steal. Anderson again threw it away. O'Bannon can't run it down. It goes out of bounds. Let's see. The officials gather. I think it's going to be Baylor's basketball, and it is.
Yeah, off Chuck. Chuck's not complaining about it. You know, Anderson's got to get this under control. He cannot be turning the ball over. All of TCU, they catch the bug sometimes where everybody turns it over. It's contagious, and they've got to take advantage of opportunities because they're just compounding things, especially when they've only shot 1 out of the last 14 from the floor.
31.9 to play in the half. Baylor's going to take a timeout here. They're use it or lose at 30. Avery Anderson's got 4 turnovers in this game. 4 turnovers in this first half.
Yeah, it's tough to win. It is actually remarkable at this point, going 1 for their last 14. But Baylor's only 1 for their last 11, so TCU is still turning up on the defense, and this has turned into a really tough defensive battle, but you can't compound it with the turnovers, and TCU is doing just that at this point.
31.9 to play.
Turnovers are now evened up at 9 after the last 3 for the Frogs.
Stations, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield. EECU proud to be the official credit union of the TCU Horned Frogs down to the final 31.9 of the half. After the timeout taken by Scott Drew. Baylor with the basketball. Inbounds is going to come from Ray J. Dennis. Dennis bounces out front to Jaden Nunn. Nunn between the circles. There's a 5-second, make it 6-second differential between the first half clock and the shot clock. Shot clock's at 15 right now for Baylor. Baylor's going to hold out front. They'll probably start to work with about 9.
If they score here, TCU's got to be able to get it in and get down to the floor to get a shot off, too.
Here's Nunn with it, down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Nunn keeping it into Mustafa, blocked by O'Bannon. Out of bounds. 1.8 to go on the shot clock. 8.4 to play in the half.
Yeah, nice job. Mustafa moving his feet and Chuck O'Bannon working back from the backside there. Able to block it out. Only 1.8 here on the shot clock. TCU's going to have to make sure they don't get anything going to the basket here and just get a hand up. You don't need to try to block a shot or anything. Just get a hand up.
11th block of the year for Chuck O'Bannon. Inbounds to come from Ray J. Dennis underneath the Baylor basket. Dennis Chuck O'Bannon defends him. Dennis looking. Does so left. Can't shoot at the buzzer. Oh, John Wooden, no. Frogs out of hustle. 5. And Jamie Dixon takes the timeout.
I'm okay with that timeout right there. I know TCU was going the other direction here.
Yeah.
But Baylor did a really nice job getting back. That's why nobody got that rebound. Everybody, as soon as that shot went up, everybody started working back because they didn't want TCU to break out the other way for a layup. I'm sure that was part of what Scott Drew said. Make sure we get back on defense no matter what in that timeout.
Jamie Dixon's use it or lose it. Timeout taken here with 4.4 to go in this first half. What do you like?
On this play right here?
Yeah.
Get something going to the basket, but what I think is going to end up happening, you'll get something to Jameer Nelson, high ball screen, and he'll step into a shot himself.
Here's what I want to know is where is the throw-in going to come from? Is it going to be on the baseline?
Looks like it's the official Bert Smith's over there on the baseline, unless he's going to walk over to the TCU bench. I think it's going to be a TCU bench.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like that at all. I don't like throwing it in front of the bench like that.
But I don't think Baylor's going to go out and try to deny anything because they don't want to get beat going the other direction. You're going to play it safe on the other end for Baylor. Try to get into this halftime with a 2-point lead.
And it's baseline anyway. Doesn't matter.
Which is weird because the ball was over there on the bench.
Yeah.
Just straight to Jameer here.
Yeah, Peavy can't move when he throws this one in. He's looking for some help. Does so to Jameer. Here it comes. Jameer Nelson on the run. Jameer with a left-hand dribble. Jameer kicks it back out. Jacoby at the buzzer. Got it. We're tied at 25. Just like Jamie Dixon drew it up. Jameer Nelson pushes. Jacoby Coles with a baseline jumper. Did he get it off in time?
First glance, I think he did. Nice job splitting the double team there from Jameer Nelson. Oh, it's really close. I don't know that he got it off. After we look at a second,
he took his time,
here.
did he not?
He did, but that's the way he shoots. And red. Ooh.
I don't know that he got it.
They didn't freeze frame it for us, so we don't know for sure. No basket.
No basket. 25-23. 2-point lead for Baylor here at the half. They lead it on the TCU Horned Frogs. Our halftime show starts next here after this local timeout on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Hello, Horned Frog Nation. This is Chauncey Franks with Fellowship Christian Athletes at TCU. I am blown away by what God is doing through the ministry of FCA on TCU campus. We are impacting hundreds of lives of coaches and students every week through our weekly Bible studies, our one-on-one discipleship, and our constant mentorship. You can follow what God is doing on Instagram, Facebook, and if you want to support the ministry of FCA, go to tcufca.org.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Dialed in on that first half, Dave Shook has all the highlights right now on our Halftime Rewind.
Chris Blake in for Dave tonight as TCU trails Baylor 25-23 at the half as we revisit some of the highlights from the first half. There weren't a ton for either side, really, but it was back and forth early. The Frogs getting to the rim and the Bears hitting from three, and it didn't take long for Jameer Nelson to get the crowd going.
Sports with a nice rebound, had a hand on the shoulder to get it. Give it off now to Nelson. Strong to the rim for the dunk. He brought that one over Walter.
That made it 8-6 TCU in the game's first 3.5 minutes, and it would stay close as the teams traded leads for the first 9 minutes. Baylor behind 12 first-half points from Jalen Bridges. But the Bears would eventually go up 5, 21-16 with just over 10 minutes to go. Emmanuel Miller, though, would go on to score 5 straight TCU points, including this finish through contact.
Here's Dennison penetrating, baseline, running into Mustafa. Was Bridges. He lost the basketball, and back the other way comes TCU.
Yeah, another good job by Mustafa being in the right position there.
Nelson takes it behind his back to feed Miller off the glass, score it, and a foul.
Miller would make the free throw and then 2 more to tie it at 21 with 7 minutes to go. TCU would add a couple more from the free throw line, courtesy of Nelson. Baylor would go up 3, 25-23, and the Frogs would have an opportunity right before the buzzer.
Just straight to Jameer here.
Yeah, Peavy can't move when he throws this one in. He's looking for some help, does so to Jameer. Here it comes, Jameer Nelson on the run. Jameer with a left-hand dribble. Jameer kicks it back out, Jacoby at the buzzer. Got it! We're tied at 25. Just like Jamie Dixon drew it up. Jameer Nelson pushes Jacoby Coles with the baseline jumper.
Well, we were tied and then we weren't, as the officials would ultimately wave that one off, and Baylor would hold a 2-point lead, 25-23 at the half. More to come on the halftime report. We'll take a look at scores from around the Big 12 and around the country, plus dig into the first half stats. That's coming up next after this from Albertsons.
Tom Thumb is making shopping and saving easier than ever. Check out Tom Thumb for You in our mobile app, where you can shop for groceries online and save over $300 weekly with digital coupons all in one place. Plus, earn rewards every time you shop in-store or online and redeem for free groceries or gas savings. Download the Tom Thumb app or go to TomThumb.com to start saving today. Tom Thumb, DFW's grocer since 1948.
If you're looking for the definition of service, I'm sure Sewell's name is in the dictionary of service.
I don't think there's a person that I've ever come in contact with that works at Sewell that wasn't the top of the top.
There's nothing to compare it to.
They take good care of me. I'm happy to drive a Sewell.
Sewell Automotive Companies, a proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs. Visit us at Sewell.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
With interest rates growing, we think your business and personal savings deserve to grow too. And you should even get to choose how you do it. Right now, Amegy is offering amazing rates on our business and personal savings and CDs. For details, visit AmegyBank.com. Amegy Bank. Here, you grow. A division of Zions Band Corporation N.A., member FDIC.
This March, the best college basketball conference in the country is heading back to Kansas City for the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. From March 12th to the 16th, watch the best collegiate hoopers in the nation battle it out inside the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City for a chance at the Big 12 title. Tickets are available now at tmobilecenter.com. The Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Get your tickets now.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas Christian University. Any use of this presentation is prohibited without the express consent of Texas Christian University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Texas Christian University. On the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Halftime Report.
This is the Coors Light Scoreboard. Now let's check on scores from around the country.
Here's Dave Shook.
Chris Blake in for Dave tonight. TCU trails Baylor 25-23 at the break. Just a couple other games we were keeping track of tonight. Both have gone. One in the Big 12. That was Kansas State hosting West Virginia. The Wildcats blow a 22-point lead with 10 minutes to go in the half, but ultimately come out on top in overtime, 94-90 to improve to 7-8 in Big 12 play. Mountaineers fall to 4-11 in conference play. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. One other game featuring a top 25 team, I should say. 9th-ranked North Carolina beats Miami by the score of 75-71. R.J. Davis, a game-high 42 points in that one. No other Tar Heel had more than 8. Davis goes 14 of 22 from the floor and 7 of 11 from beyond the arc. A couple other important Big 12 matchups coming up later this week. Top-ranked Houston hosts Cincinnati tomorrow, as does number 7 Kansas to BYU. And then on Wednesday night, 8th-ranked Iowa State home against Oklahoma, while UCF travels to Oklahoma State. That's a look at what else is going on around the conference and the country. Take a look at the first half stats coming up next on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
TCU men's basketball season tickets are on sale now. The Horned Frog schedule is loaded with matchups facing nationally ranked opponents, historic rivals, and Big 12 newcomers. With a loaded roster jammed with all conference returning standouts, highly ranked recruits, and high-flying freshmen. It all starts November 6th inside Schollmeyer Arena. Visit GoFrogs.com and secure your seats today. Defend Fort Dixon and Go Frogs.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Second half tip-off is minutes away. But first, a preview of the halftime adjustments made by Coach Jamie Dixon and staff. With our exclusive locker room report, here is Colin Boddicker.
In Fort Worth, where Baylor leads TCU 25-23. Back in the locker room, Coach Jamie Dixon implored his team to take care of the basketball after 9 turnovers in that first half, most of which were from just lackadaisical passes thrown basically right to Baylor defenders. When they did take care of the ball, though, the Frogs got good looks at the basket. They just weren't able to convert as frequently as they would wanted to. But if they get those same looks in the second half, they'll likely shoot better than they did in the first half, which was only 29.6%. Defensively, Coach Dixon praised the Frogs' tenacity, limiting Baylor to only 30.8% from the field themselves. A really ugly game so far for both teams in the first half. The Bears only made one of their last 13 shots as both teams struggled to score. In fact, Baylor didn't score the last 4:58, but the Frogs also struggled, failing to score in the last 6:11 of the first half. So every possession here in the second half is going to be critical to see who comes out on top in this game. So that'll do it from the halftime locker room report, where Baylor leads TCU 25-23. We'll be right back for the start of the second half after a quick break and a message from Pepsi.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip? Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Impactive CBD is a company built by athletes for athletes. We know firsthand how tough injuries can be and what it takes to recover quickly, safely, and naturally. The Pro Relief Stick provides soothing relief that's perfect for any sport, whether you're training for your next game or taking a day to rest. Less pain, more impact. Visit ImpactiveCBD.com and use code TCU15 for 15% off your first order.
I'm Ethan Hawke, native Texan, here to talk to you about Texan icons. See, there's one Texas icon that does more for us than any other. A little trash barrel named Daryl. You've seen him on billboards and TV. This trash barrel reminds us to keep our state clean so you don't mess with Texas. Next time you think of Texas icons, remember Daryl the Barrel, who's always reminding you don't mess with Texas means don't litter. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
Baylor 25, TCU 23. The score at halftime. Chris Blake back in the Horned Frog Sports Network studio as we take a look at some of the first half stats from this one. As you heard Colin just mention, this was not a pretty shooting half for either side. Baylor shoots 31% from the floor, 8 of 26. TCU 30%, 8 of 27. The difference, though, beyond the arc. Baylor 5 of 14, 36%. The Frogs 0 of 8 from 3. TCU made up a little bit of the difference at the free throw line, making 7 of 8 trips to the stripe. Baylor with 5 of 14 from the line. On the boards, just about even. Baylor 19, TCU 18 there. Second chance points, the Frogs have the edge 6-3, and also the edge in bench points 6-0. In the paint, TCU scored 14 points to Baylor's 6, and on the break, outscored the Bears 7-4. On an individual standpoint, the game's leading scorer is Baylor's Jalen Bridges. He has 12, all from 3. He is the only Bear with more than 4 points so far tonight. For TCU, meanwhile, a couple of players with 6 points, Jacoby Coles and Xavier Court. Coles almost had 8, but his jumper right before the halftime buzzer was waved off after he did not get the shot off before the light went off. And Coles with a couple of rebounds to go with those 6 points. 5 points for Emmanuel Miller, 4 for Jameer Nelson, and 2 for Avery Anderson. Also seeing time tonight for the Frogs, Micah Peavy, Chuck O'Bannon, Trey Tennyson, and Issam Mustafa. Now let's send things back to Schollmeyer Arena in Fort Worth with Colin. Here's Brian.
Thank you much, Chris Blake. Ready for the start of the second half here momentarily between these two teams, the Frogs and the Baylor Bears. This one's got to go down to the wire, folks. Just buckle up. Yeah, you look at this low-scoring affair, 25-23. I'm going to give credit to Baylor. With the zone, I think kind of slowed things down for TCU.
There's no question that has slowed them down, and TCU had to have been prepared for this because Baylor's been running this zone a lot. They ran it a lot against Houston just on Saturday, gave them fits as well. So just something you got to solve, though. You got to be able to get past the initial defender on the outside, penetrate, and work from there. Try to get something in the high post here. Jacoby Coles, of course, can get working in there. Has done a nice job in the past there to knock down that 15-footer. You got to get something going offensively, have some plays set up to get some guys open shots.
Is that something you can solve, though, during a half like that?
Well, I think the best way to solve it is TCU's just been lackadaisical and kind of nonchalantly throwing the ball around the perimeter, which has turned into turnovers in a lot of cases. But throw some ball fakes. If you throw a ball fake and get the defender jump in the wrong direction, then you've created an opportunity for yourself to drive in. So hopefully they can get a little bit of that going here and create some opportunities for themselves offensively.
Out of the second half here, the Horned Frogs will be on defense to open this second. Baylor will have the basketball, leading it by 2, 25-23. To start the second half, Avery Anderson will be on the floor along with Jameer Nelson. Jacoby Coles will not start the second half. We thought he might. Micah Peavy, Emmanuel Miller, and Xavier Court get this start here in the second half. Baylor with the basketball to open. Jaden Nunn has it. Gives it up this time now to Jacoby. Walter takes it strong to the rim, and he's fouled by Micah Peavy. Out here on Peavy.
Yeah, nice strong drive there from Jacoby Walter. Looked like Micah Peavy hit the rim. That clank that you heard was Micah Peavy hitting the rim as he went to block the shot, and he's holding his wrist now. Hopefully it's just a little stinger or a bruise or something, dude. He's holding his wrist right now.
That's the first personal on Peavy. Free throw line goes Walter, Jacoby Walter. Knocks in the first free throw attempt, lead back to 3. So you've got Nunn and Walter starting the second half. Along with Ray J. Dennis, the point guard. Eves Messi, the big man in the middle, and of course, Jalen Bridges, who in that first half had 12 to lead all scorers, the only player in double digits. Both free throws are good. It's 27-23. Baylor leads it by 4 here in this second half. Here's Jameer Nelson on the move to the left elbow. Back out front, it comes Emmanuel Miller for 3 to open it up. Knocks it down. 3-pointer from Emmanuel Miller. 1-point ball game now.
And there it is. You dribble drive to the left side, get into the high post area, draw a defender, and kick it back out to an open shooter, right on, open, and a wide open shot for Miller.
And here's the lob to Messi for the dunk over Emmanuel Miller that time. 45 seconds into this second half. It's a 3-point ball game. 29-26. Baylor leads it. Out of the top with it is Walter. Walter bumped and fouled. Or excuse me, that was Nelson bumped and fouled, I should say, by Nelson. Walter switched defensively, and so was Dennis on it.
Yep, Ray J. Dennis there with the foul. Probably a good foul for Baylor because that was the exact same play TCU just ran, and Emmanuel Miller was about to step into another wide open 3 at top of the key.
Nunn gives it up. Back it comes. Here's Nelson between the circles. Nelson for the left elbow. Jameer scores in for TCU. And it's 29-28, a 1-point game again with 18:48 to play.
Yeah, I think TCU was getting good looks in the first half, just weren't able to knock down the shots when they were getting them. So far here in the second half, 2 for 2.
Here's Ray J. Dennis to the elbow, steps through, spins it off the glass, missed it, rebound, tapped around, off it comes out of Messi, he'll miss it. Off it goes one more time, another opportunity for Baylor. Deep 3 that's off the mark, Frogs fighting for it, and a foul out front. They're going to get Peavy for his second personal as he runs into Jacoby Walter on that 3-point attempt.
Yeah, Peavy doesn't like the call. He's waiting to look at the replay up top. And Jacoby Walter's going to get 3 free throws on this as we see the replay. Yep, he bumped into him. Didn't really give him quite enough room to land, and definitely had his momentum go through Jacoby Walter.
Jacoby Walter, an 85% free throw shooter, back to the line, 2 for 2 tonight. Making 3 for 3. 30-28, 2-point ball game, 18:28 to play. Second free throw is good. Third one good.
Neither team could score at the end of the first half. Now nobody can stop each other.
32-28, 4-point ball game. 90 seconds in. Nelson. Now Miller. Nelson between the circles. Jameer. Off it goes Miller again. Back to Jameer. Nelson penetrates. Step back. 14-footer is going to be too strong. Miller crashed the boards and went out of the hands of Bridges and out of bounds off of, let's see, Ray J. Dennis? Should be.
Yeah, Bridges wants a foul, but it was his own man that knocked him to the ground as he went up for the basketball for the rebound, and he tried to throw it to Dennis in the corner. Ball just squirts out of bounds there as Dennis tries to save it. Break for the Frogs.
Micah Peavy to inbounds. That's so Jameer Nelson off now to Anderson. Avery back out front. It comes Emmanuel Miller. Nelson with it. Jameer looks, gives it back to Avery. Back to Jameer Nelson. Nelson in traffic. Kicks it right inside court. Scoring to the foul. Xavier Court inside of Messi. Able to get the deuce. Whistle the foul here on Messi. And that's going to be his third now with 17:55 left in this second half.
Big foul there, getting Messi with his third foul there, but Cork staying aggressive offensively. He only played just under 4 minutes there in that first half, had 6 points on 3 out of 3 from the floor, picks up right where he left off here in the second with an easy bucket early on.
Cork's free throw is good. 32-31, it's a 1-point ball game. Dennis gives it up to Bridges. Bridges to Nunn. Back out front it comes. To Dennis again. Between the circles. Messi Racing through was Nelson, almost had a steal. Instead, it is going to be Walter stepping through all the way to the rim for the dunk.
Yeah, Court got caught behind Missy there, was unable to get around him. Missy basically just boxed him out and left the lane wide open for Walter to go in all the way in for the easy jam.
34-31. Here's Nelson. Back it goes Anderson. Off to Jameer Nelson. Jameer back to Avery. Avery pulls the trigger out front. That one's too long in the rebound now to Baylor.
Frogs, not a lot going right there. Manuel Miller trying to get open. That's a push off from Dennis. No call right there. Extended his arm and everything.
Ray J took it all the way to the low block and back out now to Beasley.
But to finish my thought there, Miller was in the high post area, creating a log jam of area for him to potentially anybody to drive there from the outside.
Beasley commits a foul here. Micah Peavy trying to draw the charge. Slides over late. That's going to be the third on Peavy. And that'll get Jacoby Coles back into the lineup now. 16:54 to play.
3 quick fouls for Peavy here in the second half. We saw a replay of Jacoby Walters' dunk there. The initial pump fake and then a what do you call it? What was the cartoon when the mighty Speedy Gonzalez? Yeah, he did a little Speedy Gonzalez to get the momentum going to the
leg spinning.
Yeah,
first free throw was good. I was always a bigger fan of Speedy Gonzalez's cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez.
That's right.
Macy's second free throw is coming up. Makes that 35-31 now. Baylor make it 36-31. Baylor leads by 5. 16:54 to play. Five-point margin right now. Matches the largest of the game for Baylor. Frogs have led by as many as 4. That tells you how tight this one has been. Here's Nelson. Jameer looked right for Miller. Instead it comes Tennyson back. It goes in. Bad decision here by Emmanuel Miller. The Frogs get bailed out. That one went through the hands of Walter. The Frogs have had some poor decision making when it comes to passing the basketball here.
There's no doubt about it. Like, everybody held their breath as soon as it's the right idea. You catch it from one side, look opposite, but don't catch it and throw it blindly.
Yeah. Here's Nelson out top. Nelson in traffic, takes to the baseline right. Somehow got it off, missed it, and it goes out of bounds off of Baylor. Jacoby Walter knocked that one out of bounds. I don't know how Nelson shot that one that time over Nunn, who was higher than him.
Yeah, that was, I don't know how it got off either. I was ready to catch that one. I thought it was coming to us. But Miller on the offensive rebound, forcing Jacoby Walter there to try to corral that, ends up fumbling out of bounds.
36-31 now. It's a 5-point ball game. 16:27 to play. Nelson trying to inbounds. Looking. Has to send it out front. Trey Tennyson runs it down now for the Horned Frogs.
Well, he missed Jacoby Coles wide open. Would have had a 15-footer if he would have got it to him.
16:20 to go. Here's Trey Tennyson to the right side. Tennyson sends it back out front now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller. Got a 5 on the shot clock. Miller spins in traffic and an offensive foul. That's a good call. He was established before the foot was planted. That's a charge back the other way.
Yep, the whole building knew he was going to spin back to the right there, including Jacoby Walter, who did a nice job of staying in there and take the hit.
Yep, fully established. 16:05 to go. 36-31 right now. It's a 5-point ball game. Between the circles, none. Walter. Off it goes now to John Woda. That's game away. Back it comes out front. John Woda. Bridges in traffic. This time. Dennis kicks it off. Gets it right back. Fires it at the buzzer. Coles touched it. That's a bad decision by Jacoby Coles. That ball wasn't going to go in anyway. And Jacoby, as the shot clock was winding down, swiped at it.
Yeah, waiting to see the replay here. Yeah, you got to make better decisions than that. You can't just go up and swat at a ball if it's going to hit the rim. Nice job by Dennis to even get that shot off. They're going to look at the replay here just to double check it, though.
We'll let them sort it out during the timeout here. 38-31. Baylor's largest lead of the game right now at 7. Back we come after this timeout. A word from Pepsi.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip? Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Goaltend assessed there to Xavier Cork. And with that, Baylor has their largest lead of the game right now. 39-31 now. 8-point lead.
Yeah, that's a killer because it's a three-pointer, too. It wasn't a two-point shot. Had no chance of going in. Just going up thinking it's going to be short and want to get the rebound. I understand that, but you got to let it. As soon as you see it's going to hit the rim, you got to pull your hand back.
Roger out-rebounded by Baylor, 23-19 in this one.
Yeah, -4 there, and 6 of them on the offensive glass. A couple offensive rebounds here in the second half already for Baylor.
Both teams have turned it over 10 times. Baylor outscoring TCU to start this second half, 14-8 right now.
Yeah, it's one of these games. It's going to be decided by runs here, and who can sustain the biggest run. Neither team wanted to go on a run the end of the first half, and nobody could score. Baylor has seized that opportunity here at the beginning of the second half.
Frogs held Baylor to their lowest scoring first half of just 25 points. They also only scored 25 against Houston at halftime. It's also the lowest scoring half of the season for the Horned Frogs. The old one was the first half of 24 against Kansas State. It was 23 in that first. Frogs ended that half on a 6-minute and 11-second scoring drought. They missed their last 10 shots.
That's right. Baylor was 458. They didn't score the last 458.
Exactly.
Just it's a tough brand of basketball to watch both ways there.
Tennyson inbounds, does so down to Emmanuel Miller. A little pressure to backcourt being applied.
Well, Trey Tennyson just didn't throw it to Jameer Nelson when he broke wide open and almost got a 5-second count because he was holding on to the ball too long.
Mustafa on the floor. Here's Tennyson, bounces right now to Coles. Catch and shoot for the baseline, in and out. A rebound taken out of there by Baylor now.
See, that's a good shot, and TCU will take that all day long. Coles knocks that down more times than he doesn't.
Catch and shoot, left-hand side. That one doesn't go for Walter, and a rebound now to Emmanuel Miller. Fixes his headband and gets it to Tennyson.
Yeah, his teammate Jameer Nelson almost knocked it off right there. I don't know what Jameer was doing.
Here's Tennyson to the left-hand side. Back out it comes now to Emmanuel Miller. Coles catches right wing now. Jacoby between the circles to Trey Tennyson again. Tennyson left-hand side, Nelson. Nelson goes baseline. Back out front, it comes Tennyson for a deep three. Back of the iron, no. Tipped out by Mustafa, and back come the Bears. Trying to lead it out here for Bridges, and it was tipped out of the hands of Ray J. Dennis by Jameer Nelson. It'll stay now with Baylor.
We talk about little hidden plays within the game right there. That Mustafa tip, if he doesn't tip it, Nelson comes up with that rebound, ends up accidentally tipping it to the Baylor guy.
Hard to fault the effort, though, right?
Can't fault the effort. You want to try to get every rebound you can. If you get your paw on it, you want to try to get it.
14:48 to go. Inbounds, right-hand side, deep three that doesn't go for Walter. Frogs grab the rebound on the opposite end, and it's Jacoby Coles. To Nelson. Nelson in traffic, leaves it out now to Tennyson. Tennyson looking for a cutter, and Jacoby. Instead, Trey Dribbles back out front now to Emmanuel Miller. Left-hand wing to Nelson. Entry now to Mustafa. Mustafa backing it in, working it in on Old John Woda. Sends it out to Nelson. 10 of the shot clock. Jameer. Tennyson thought about it. Now Tennyson to the rim. Steps through, hesitates, had it blocked. Brings it back down. In the lane. Fall away is going to be short. How many times you see a fall away jumper come up short, Colin?
Almost every time, and he had to fall away because he just got the previous shot blocked, so he felt like he had to create the space, but he was wide open, probably could have just gone straight up with it.
Tennyson 0 for 4 in this ball game, yet to score. Right-hand side with it now is Jacoby Walter. Walter, back out front, it comes here now to Nunn. Nunn working between the circles, 9 to the shot clock, 13:54 to play. Out front goes Ray J. Dennis. Dennis, corner right, deep three. That one goes for Walter, and all of a sudden Baylor leads at 42-31. And a timeout going to be taken here by Jamie Dixon with 13:42 to go. Jamie Dixon takes this timeout. It'll be a full. We'll take it with him. 13:42 left. 42-31 right now. It's an 11-point lead here for the Baylor Bears over the TCU Horned Frogs. In fact, we come courtside after this timeout. And a word from SeatGeek.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he'd be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Dallas-Fort Worth Roofing Company. Lon Smith Roofing is one of America's top 25 roofing companies and has been serving the DFW Metroplex for nearly 50 years. From our humble Fort Worth beginnings in 1974, we have grown our company with the simple formula of a commitment to excellence. Our founder, Lon Smith, believed that no matter how good we are, we can always do better. Lon Smith Roofing is committed to providing the finest Fort Worth and Dallas roofing products and the most trusted service in the industry.
If you're looking for the definition of service, I'm sure Sewell's name is in the dictionary of service.
I don't think there's a person that I've ever come in contact with that works at Sewell that wasn't the top of the top.
There's nothing to compare it to.
They take good care of me. I'm happy to drive a Sewell.
Sewell Automotive Companies, a proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs. Visit us at Sewell.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Chris Blake back in the Horned Frogs Sports Network studio. We've covered most of what's going on in college basketball today, but let's take a look at what else is going on around the Horned Frog athletic department this week. And it's a lot this time of year. This week, the women's golf team and men's tennis teams both in action. Women's golf is at the Chevron Collegiate in Humble, Texas, while men's golf is at work on the road as well. Then tomorrow night, Big 12 Swim and Dive Championships start in Morgantown, West Virginia, while the baseball team is home against Washington State. Baseball's home again on Wednesday against Arizona. Meanwhile, women's basketball team plays its final home game Wednesday night against Texas Tech. And then, Brian, this weekend, I don't know what sports you want to watch, but there's everything. Baseball, equestrian, swim and dive, beach volleyball, basketball. Take your pick.
Yeah, plenty to go around for everyone. The Frogs having tons of success right now as well. Here, though, trailing 42-31 by 11 to the Baylor Bears. Are the largest lead of the game, Colin.
Yeah, Frogs still just struggling from three-point land now. 1 for 11. And Trey Tennyson just can't seem to get it going offensively. 0 for 6 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3 at this point. The only guy that's got it going for TCU offensively is Xavier Cork. He's 4 for 4 from the floor with a 1 for 1 from the free throw, 9 points. He leads the Frogs in scoring right now.
Out of the timeout now, the Frogs will have Avery Anderson and Trey Tennyson. Tennyson, as Colin was mentioning, struggling. Emmanuel Miller, Jacoby Coles, Isam Mustafa. 5 of the 4 for the Frogs. Anderson to the backcourt. Now with Tennyson. Walter picked him up. Here's Anderson, right side. Back out top, it comes Tennyson. Out of Avery Anderson. Coles, corner right now to Emmanuel Miller. Back out front, it comes Tennyson, left-hand side. Anderson, 4 on the shot clock. Avery bumped as he fired this one. This is going to be a foul here on Jaden Nunn.
Nice job by Avery Anderson. Getting to a spot, pump fake, down on the shot clock, so Nunn didn't necessarily have to leave his feet, but I think he thought that he was going to have a shot at blocking the shot. Anderson, a little head fake, gets him in the air, goes through him, ends up at 3-line, which is just what TCU needed. They got to get some points on the board here.
81% free throw shooter. Avery at the line. First one's good. Second effort. It's good.
TCU had been, or is 0 for their last 6 from the field. They're able to get a couple points there and stop this run from Baylor.
Out top with it is Ray J. Dennis. Dennis to the free throw line. Kicks it off of the corner. Catch and shoot here. Three-pointer that goes for Jaden Nunn. And it's 45-33, a 12-point margin now for Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor starting to knock down threes again here in the second half. That'll be a problem for TCU if they can't figure out how to guard guys on the perimeter.
This zone continues to give TCU trouble. Flashing as Mustafa catches in the middle on Ojon Wuna with the left hand. Missed it. Miller tipped it. Couldn't get it there, and a rebound taken out of there by Ojon Wuna. 12:27 to go. 12-point lead is the largest for Baylor, 45-33. Out front with it works Ray J. Dennis into Emmanuel Miller. Running one-hander, scoop shot, got it to go. And it's now 47-33, a 14-point game.
Yeah, dangerous time here for TCU. Got to get some points here.
Right-hand corner, it goes to Jacoby Coles. Back out front, Avery Anderson. Anderson had it slapped away. Avery kicks it off in the corner here for Coles. He misses it. Tapped around a couple of times. Mustafa can't get it. Instead, it's Baylor.
And Mustafa's in there rebounding by himself at this point on the offensive end. Wide open shot for Coles in the corner on a scramble play. Frogs just have not been able to knock down open shots today.
Dennis right-hand side. It goes now to Jalen Bridges. Out front, Jacoby Walter. Top it goes now. Ray J. Dennis. Dennis works at baseline left. Wraparound pass. Ojon Wuna blocked by Mustafa. He got it right back, though. Baylor keeps 5 of the shot clock. Corner jumper. Deep left corner goes here for Jacoby Walter. And a timeout got to be taken by Jamie Dixon. Baylor's lead is now 17. 50-33. It's their largest of the game with 11:25 to play. The Baylor Bears with the advantage. And a timeout taken here by Jamie Dixon. We'll take it with him. Back we come here to Showmy Arena in Fort Worth. After this local timeout of the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, Horned Frog Nation. This is Chauncey Franks with Fellowship Christian Athletes at TCU. I am blown away by what God is doing through the ministry of FCA on TCU campus. We are impacting hundreds of lives of coaches and students every week through our weekly Bible studies, our one-on-one discipleship, and our constant mentorship. You can follow what God is doing on Instagram, Facebook, and if you want to support the ministry of FCA, go to tcufca.org.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
11:25 to play in this ball game. 50-33 right now. Baylor leading it on TCU. We got a half-court shot among TCU students taking place right now. They were going to flash $10,000. Is that what you told me, Colin? That somebody made a half-court shot?
That's what I saw from our athletic director, Jeremiah Donati's Twitter account today. Was they were going to pick 5 students who got in line at 8 a.m. for the game tonight.
Yeah.
They were going to pick 5 of those students who got there early and give them a half-court shot each for $10,000 cash.
Well, none of them made it, so now they've moved it up to the free throw line where one of them has made it so far. 11:25 to go. More important thing, though, is it's a 17-point margin right now. 50-33 is our score. Baylor leads it on TCU, and Jamie Dixon was forced to take the time out there to stop the bleeding on what has been a run and a half here by Baylor. An 8-0 run over the last 133. You stretch it out even further, and it's 18-2 over the last 6 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, and almost all of it here in the second half from Jacoby Walter. Jacoby Walter's got 13 points just here in the second half. Knocking down three-pointers, made a couple in the last few possessions here. He has really come to play tonight.
Out of the timeout now, Jameer Nelson and Avery Anderson, along with Jacoby Coles, Xavier Cork, and Micah Peavy, the 5 of the floor for the Frogs. Full pressure being applied here by Baylor just to slow TCU down a bit. Walter and Nunn, Dennis, Ojonwuna, and Bridges, the 5 of the floor here for Baylor. Anderson, Peavy. Back out between the circles, it comes now to Nelson. Jameer back to Peavy. Peavy back Nelson again. Nelson trying to create, had it knocked away, fires it as the buzzer sounds. Frogs don't get a shot off. Out of the timeout taken by Jamie Dixon.
I got to tell you, this Baylor zone defense is giving TCU all kinds of problems tonight. And you just kind of hope that this isn't the blueprint on how to defeat TCU at this point, because right now it is preventing TCU from getting down on the fast break. They're not getting any fast break points. They've only got 7 on the night, averaging over 19 a game. And they are just having a lot of problems in the half court.
Right-hand side, Bridges. Bridges bounces to Ojonwuna. Backs it in on court. Ojonwuna with the left hand. Doesn't get it. Rebound Nelson now. Frogs got to work. 10.5 to go. 50-33. Left-hand side, Anderson. Hesitates. Back it goes Nelson. Nelson. Off it goes O'Bannon. Big game. Chuck. 3. No. Long rebound. It'll go out of bounds to Baylor. Just not happening for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, even there they had an opportunity at a break and couldn't probe and couldn't find anything getting all the way to the basket. Had to pass it back out and ended up with a good shot from Chuck, who's obviously been known to make the big plays for TCU, big shots in big games, but unable to connect on that one.
Dennis has it out front. Now to Jaden Nunn. Dennis working between the circles. Screen from Ojonwuna. Dennis in traffic, takes it around. Anderson lobs it. Ojonwuna fouled from behind by Jameer Nelson.
Yeah, it's good help from the backside by Jameer Nelson, forcing Ojonwuna here to earn these at the free throw line. Ojonwuna, 61% free throw shooter.
Now, to the free throw line he goes.
Yeah, now Avery Anderson looks like he's holding his hand. Don't know if he got it caught up in guarding Ray J. Dennis on that drive there.
Free throw's good for Josh Ojonwuna, sophomore out of Nigeria. (51-33), 18-point margin. Make it stay 18. That's the largest of the game. Frogs get the inbound stolen away. Miss here on the putback by Walter. O'Bannon with it. Tied up on the floor. Jump ball possession arrow should give it to TCU. Now some pushing and shoving going on. And more than that at the end.
Yeah, Jacoby Walter needs to settle down right there. Chuck O'Bannon just standing there, and he's getting up like he's going to fight somebody. And Chuck O'Bannon didn't do anything. Walter's he's having a great half, right? And he just made a great steal, and then he missed a layup. But he just needs to calm down. Just Chuck O'Bannon with an easy rebound here, and then throws it away to Walter with a great steal coming back and a nice defensive play.
Then O'Bannon and Walter sort of fighting for the loose ball. And then, Chuck did kind of wrap him around with the left hand.
I don't know. I think Walter's getting up under his arm here. They get a better angle at it right here. Walter was mad because Chuck kind of manhandled him a little bit, and then he gets up under his arm. But he's just trying to, he's going to fight somebody. What's he doing?
Officials go to check this one out at the replay monitor. 9:42 to go, 51-33. It's an 18-point lead right now. Baylor with their largest lead of the game.
Now, I wish I could say this would be something that would fire TCU up, but I don't know. The body language at TCU right now is just not that good. They're struggling making shots, and everybody on that bench knows it right now, and their body language shows it too.
Frogs have a packed house here. That's what Jamie Dixon was clamoring for. He wanted this thing full. He wanted it loud. He got it.
I talked about it in my 3 keys tonight. The crowd being in it from the jump, and they had an opportunity to be in it, especially with the gigantic slam from Jameer Nelson on top of Yves Misi at the very beginning of the game. But then since then, it's just the game got kind of mucked up, and neither team could make a basket, and Baylor just seized the opportunity here in the second half.
All right, so it is just, in fact, a jump ball, and the possession goes to the Horned Frogs here. After reviewing it, 9:42 to play. 51-33 right now. An 18-point lead for Baylor. Avery Anderson out front. Gives that to Micah Peavy. Peavy puts it on the floor. Back it goes Avery. Avery in traffic. Takes it to the baseline left. Cut off as he sends it to Peavy, right-hand side. Catch and shoot 3. Spins in. Yes.
It doesn't matter how they go down, Brian, as long as they go down. It went all the way around 3 times, but Frogs needed that in the worst way.
It wasn't pretty. Avery going for the steal. Tried to save it before it went out of bounds. Great effort that time for Avery Anderson. 51-36 right now. 15-point ball game. Baylor's got it. Cole's going to get in now for O'Bannon. And Miller returns as well for Xavier Cork. Baylor with it. Dennis works it on Avery Anderson. Got to back it in, does Ray J. Take him all the way to the low block, then turn around, fadeaway jumper. Doesn't go, tapped around a couple of times. 2 Frogs there, 2 Baylor Bears. Possession arrow this time is going to leave it in Baylor. Another jump ball situation. Officials got to be careful here, Colin.
No, there's no doubt about it. TCU's frustrated because they're not making shots on this end, but Baylor's also, listen, you take a really tightly contested, tough, physical game, and then you push out a lead. You got to know that there's a little jabbing going on, talking going on out there.
Especially 2 teams that have played 193 times.
Oh, and TCU, don't forget, won a big thriller 3 overtime game in Waco's brand new stadium. So, understand, no love lost here.
Tennyson in now for Avery Anderson. Inbounds, comes in the corner right for Walter Jacoby. Off it comes now, John Woodle. 15 on the shot clock, tapped away by Nelson into the backcourt. It'll go out of bounds and stay with Baylor. Frogs are cranking up the defensive pressure a little bit now.
They have to. They don't have much of a choice. 8:50 to go, down 15. You got little margin for error, both on giving up buckets and not scoring on the other end at this point. Baylor was going to extend or kind of tighten this game, short it down a little bit.
Dennis with it. Left-hand side it goes. Steps back. Jumper off the mark. Frogs out of position. What we got here?
We got Ojon Wuna with a push going for the offensive glass there.
Wow, I don't know about that. Frogs will take it though, right?
No doubt about it.
Second personal Ojon Wuna. Here's Nelson. Weaving in traffic. Tried to get a cutter. He bounced it off the hands of Ojon Wuna. He's trying to find Peavy, who was going baseline there.
If he'd have just left that up at the rim, Peavy was going to go tear it off.
Yeah. Now Jameer to inbounds. From the baseline, Nelson. Got a late sub now. As back in is going to come Misi for Ojon Wuna. Misi with those 3 personal fouls, remember. Nelson to inbounds. Sends it out front. Tennyson almost backcourt there. Here's Peavy in traffic. Put it up, missed it. Tip follow, got it. Extra effort for Micah Peavy.
Yeah, Meese kind of slid over at the last minute, contested that shot. Peavy left it short, but stayed with it, knocked it in. Frogs cut it down to 13 here.
51-38 right now. Dennis out front. Ray J left-hand side. Frog fans on their feet. Dennis around Nelson, around Coles with a scoop. Missed it, tipped out into the hands of Dennis again. Back out front it comes. Walter tried to force it down low. Meese can't handle it. Tennyson comes up with it. Trey gives it up now to Jameer Nelson. Nelson to the forecourt. Frogs trail by 13. Nelson fouled. They want to take a look at this one, I think, because Jaden Nunn, the guilty party, they're going to check it during the timeout. 7:47 to go. Keith Kimball immediately said he wanted to take a look at it to see if there was a hand to the face there, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that real time. It's right in front of us, but I can't tell you that I have perfect eyesight anymore.
7:47 to go right now. 51-38, 13-point lead for Baylor. Back we come after this local timeout of the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student-athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
TCU men's basketball season tickets are on sale now. The Horned Frog schedule is loaded with matchups facing nationally ranked opponents, historic rivals, and Big 12 newcomers. With a loaded roster jammed with all conference returning standouts, highly ranked recruits, and high-flying freshmen. It all starts November 6th inside Schollmeyer Arena. Visit GoFrogs.com and secure your seats today. Defend Fort Dixon and Go Frogs.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Whether you're driving or walking to the Lone Star State, keep your trash with you until you find a trash can. Remember, don't mess with Texas means don't litter. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation. 7:47 to play. This one, 51-38 right now. Baylor leads it by 13, but the Frogs starting to chip away a little bit on this lead that at one time had ballooned to 18 for Baylor.
Yeah, a little mini 5-0 run by Micah Peavy here, knocked down a three, and then a layup on the last possession. Baylor in a scoring drought of 2:06 here, but TCU's going to get back in this game only if they continue to get stops. Baylor only is 0 for their last 5 from the field. TCU's got to continue to get that going for them.
Out of the timeout. Frogs with basketball. Tennyson and Peavy, along with Coles and Miller and Jameer Nelson. How many times down the stretch do we see this being the lineup that Jamie Dixon trusts on the floor?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of it. You'll probably see a little more Avery Anderson down the stretch as well for Tennyson here. But for the most part, this is what you're going to see down the stretch.
Trey having some trouble. Has to send it backcourt here to Peavy.
Trey's not trusting his passes. Every guy's breaking open. He's nervous about it. It's almost like he's nervous about turning the ball over.
Yep. Here's Peavy. Penetrates through the double team, lost it, somehow recovered it, and threw it right into the hands of Baylor. Peavy may have fallen into his shoulder, the cameraman, and a dunk on the other end. Meese able to knock it through. Peavy, I'm not so sure, is 100% as this ball is knocked out of bounds by Baylor, Peavy ran right into a cameraman.
Yeah, Rick Crawford, the official, walked up to him and asked him if he was okay, wanted him to stop playing. He said, no, I'm okay.
Here's Nelson. Jameer gives it up to Michael Peavy. Peavy, off it goes Tennyson, deep three, Trey. That one doesn't go again. Rebound now. Ray J. Dennis. That's the second best three-point shooter in the league. Dennis, alley-oop, catch, and lay it up this time for Bridges.
And compounding that mistake, Tennyson's got just a sour look on his face going back. Doesn't protect the basket and gives up a layup on the other end. Goes out to the first pass, and he's not supposed to guard that first pass. He's got to take the basket first when somebody else is running down.
17, Coles turnaround elbow jumper. One and done for TCU. Dennis with a rebound now. 6:45 to play.
Baylor going to shorten this game up now, run a lot of clock every possession. TCU's almost at a point now where they're going to need to stop almost every possession.
They get the match they wanted. Bridges had it slapped away by Tennyson. They say it's out of bounds, so I think Bridges may have dribbled it off his foot.
That's a big break for the Frogs.
Wow. Avery Anderson's going to get back in, but he comes in for Jameer Nelson and not Trey Tennyson.
I mean, at this point, you got to find some shots for Tennyson just to get his confidence back for future games as well, right?
Trey Tennyson 0 for 8 in this ball game. Avery Anderson for 3 out front. Scores that.
Frogs got to get stops now. This clock is going to run all the way down the shot clock at each possession for Baylor.
55-41. Out front with it, Ray J. Dennis. Gives it up to Walter. Back it goes Dennis again. Works between the circles. Corner right. Foul here. Tennyson on the perimeter fouls Walter. Trey Tennyson whistled for that one. That'll be his third. Sixth team foul. So the next one will put Baylor on the line for 1-and-1. Inbounds from underneath the Baylor basket. Hero Little does easily to Bridges, who missed the layup, tipped it twice, missed it again, out of bounds it goes, off of TCU. Wow. 3 easy opportunities for Bridges. He missed them. And yet Baylor still has the basketball.
And now Jacoby Coles comes up limping a little bit. He looked like he wasn't able to get any lift to go get that rebound.
Inbounds comes left-hand side. 18 on the shot clock. Floater doesn't go. Follow is good. Meese gets credit for the deuce. 5:38 to go. 57-41, 16-point ball game again. Tennyson bounces right. Miller back out. It goes Tennyson. Top PV, left-hand wing to get it Anderson. Anderson to the rim. Floater doesn't go. 1 and done. Meese with the rebound.
Yeah,
5:20 to go.
Anderson's frustrated on that one as well. He just knows that he makes that 99 out of 100. Just missed the point-blank layup right at the front of the rim. 16-point ball game. Jalen Bridges back out between the circles. Meese again. Baylor content to run some time. Shot clock's at 10. Here's Ray J. Dennis. Dennis in traffic. Baseline. Lob again. Dunk. Over Coles. Court set to get back into the lineup. Meese having his way. Lead is 18. 59-41. Miller, now Anderson. Tennyson in traffic. Bounces. Coles, jump hook, got that one. Nice drive there from Tennyson. Leave off for Coles, who pump fake Meese in the air and is able to little baby hook to get that one to go.
4:25 to play. 59-43 right now. 16-point lead. Nunn, double team, trying to step through it. Frogs doing a nice job. Off it comes now. Walter, baseline left. Bridges slicing through, foul.
And you may have seen me doing the traveling motion with 99% of the arena right now.
Right.
Nunn switched his pivot foot not once but twice on that possession right there. Hopefully they show it up front here on the replay, but they won't.
Unfortunately, go. Yeah, free throw line will go Bridges.
Frogs have done a nice job on Meese all night long, and he's got a couple of buckets here in the last couple of possessions.
14 points for Meese. Free throw here for Bridges is off the mark. He sits at 14 as well, and it's Jacoby Walter leading him with 16. Coles and Tennyson check out. Nelson and Cork return. And you're right, the body language for the Horned Frogs doesn't give you a lot of hope.
Body language for the Horned Frogs, body language for the Horned Frog faithful in the stands. You already see quite a few of them making their way to the exit here. Like, I don't know, 4:10 left. There's still a lot of stuff that can go on in a basketball game.
Sure can. Free throw makes it 17 right now. 60-43. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. Baylor leads this one by 17 with 4:10 to go. Back after this with Coors Light.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Big12Sports.
Impactive CBD is a company built by athletes for athletes. We know firsthand how tough injuries can be and what it takes to recover quickly, safely, and naturally. The Pro Relief Stick provides soothing relief that's perfect for any sport, whether you're training for your next game or taking a day to rest. Less pain, more impact. Visit ImpactiveCBD.com and use code TCU15 for 15% off your first order.
Chris Blake back in the Horned Frogs Sports Network studio as we check in on what else is going on in the Big 12 this week. Told you about the other game that was going on tonight. That was a 94-90 win for K-State over West Virginia in overtime. Tyler Perry led all scorers in that one for the Wildcats with 29 points. 3 games tomorrow night in league play. The new number 1 team in the country, Houston, is home tomorrow against Cincinnati. Cougars in the top spot for the first time this season after UConn drops off the top line of the AP poll. Also tomorrow, 7th-ranked Kansas home against BYU. Cougars have lost 2 out of 3 and fell out of the top 25 that came out today. The Jayhawks, meanwhile, have won 3 out of their last 4. And Texas visits Texas Tech tomorrow night. Longhorns and Red Raiders have each dropped 2 of their last 3 games. 2 games on Wednesday night. Number 8, Iowa State home against Oklahoma. Sooners coming off that buzzer-beater win over Oklahoma State in Stillwater on Saturday. Cyclones, meanwhile, playing well, have won 5 of their last 6. And Oklahoma State is home against UCF. The Knights, Brian, snapped a 4-game losing streak with a win over Tech on Saturday.
Horned Frogs will see them in the season finale on March 9th here at Schollmeyer Arena. 4:10 left in this ball game, 60-43. Baylor leads it by 17 on TCU right now. Out-rebounded the Frogs 38-27.
Yeah, that number has jumped a lot since the last time out. It was a -5 for the Frogs on the boards, and it's jumped to -11 now in the last 4 minutes of the game. So Frogs just, as they try to get back in this game, just not able to even get a rebound here recently, and shooting just 31.3% for the game. That's not going to get it done, especially in a big game.
4:10 to go. Nelson and Anderson on the floor together, along with Emmanuel Miller, Micah Peavy, and Xavier Cork here for TCU.
This is just, it's one of those games where you know you're going to want to just get to the next one, because TCU is the number 1 scoring offense in the Big 12, and they just cannot buy a bucket tonight.
Anderson out front it comes now. Jameer Nelson for 3, got that one. 60-46, 14-point game. Frogs will pick up some pressure in the backcourt now, and they do it with Ray J. Dennis. Dribbling it up here on Avery Anderson. Dennis, off it goes now to Nunn. Jaden Nunn looks at the screen. Goes to the left-hand side, now to Dennis again. 6 on the shot clock. Spins away from Avery. Cork helps him out, bounces down low. How about that? That help out that I mentioned, that cost them. They find Meesey for the dunk.
Yeah, you don't need to help out right there. He had Ray J. Dennis in front of him the entire time. I don't know why Cork has to come over to help right there. Leave Meesey wide open under the basket.
Here's a foul as Jameer's starting to make the move. Whistled. So the foul's going to be Jake Nunn. And for Nunn, that's going to be his 6th team foul charge to Baylor. So the Frogs with the basketball. Peavy will inbounds. In front of the TCU bench now. So to Xavier Cork to Avery Anderson. Lob to Miller's over his head and out of bounds. Another turnover for TCU. It's number 14 of the night.
Yeah, just trying to make something happen. Miller cutting wide open on the backside of the basket. Just airmailed the pass there.
Frogs try to trap. They do so with a kick here as they get Walter in the corner, and Peavy kicks it away. Tries to bounce it. Nelson saves it after knocking it away. Peavy goes high for it, can't get it. Comes off in the hands of Walter. Nelson eventually knocks it out of bounds. It will be Baylor's basketball. Pretty good effort, though, by the Frogs.
Yeah, both guys, Emmanuel Miller and Micah Peavy, were the only two that went for the ball. And if only one of them would have went for it, they would have come up with possession there. But the officials trying to decide if the shot clock should be. So Baylor still only got 2 seconds here to get the ball across. They're asking each other for change, if it was a change of possession. I don't know that TCU ever had possession unless you count the flip to try to save it from Jameer Nelson inbounds a possession.
I don't think they did. So you're going to be 22 on the shot clock. And now I think Baylor's going to take a timeout knowing that they only have 2 seconds to get it across.
That's right.
Try to save the possession. 3:02 to play in this ballgame. 30-second timeout taken here by Scott Drew. Knowing he's only got 2 seconds to get it across the timeline. Yeah, I don't think there was a change of possession that would warrant the shot clock change.
No. Unless he called Jameer Nelson diving for it to flip it back in a possession where he kind of tried to just save it and went almost straight up in the air. But neither Miller or Peavy actually had possession.
Yeah. See what Scott Drew draws up here. In his 21st year at Baylor. We've had 16 straight winning seasons. Remember, those first 4 were tough. 03 to 07, they went 36 and 69.
You think they're happy that they didn't let him go?
Exactly. Ray J. Dennis with it in the backcourt. Gets it across just in time. Feed it off for the running one. Hander that's off the mark. Rebound tapped around. And Peavy comes up with it now. Nelson. Cork. Anderson in traffic. Dishes right. Miller for 3. Emmanuel fouled. He'll get 3 shots with 2:41 to go.
Frogs
up 2 by Walter.
Yeah, Frogs understand that they've only got basically maybe 5-6 possessions tops here as Baylor run the shot clock down every time. You got to start knocking down threes. You're down 16, so I mean you got to hit a 3 every possession. Yeah. They were kicking out. Avery didn't even take the layup, kicked it out, tried to get a 3 and get 3 free throws here for Miller.
Miller's first is good.
But I mean, if you get an opportunity here, even though you're down 16, at some point you got to call up the dogs. But if you want to try to extend the game, I think you can start doing it now.
Yeah.
You just got to hope that the guys get really cold at the free throw line. Put a lid on at the other end.
Not Jamie Dixon's style, though.
Not his style. Not most coaches' style, right? So it'd be different if you'd been making shots at some point during the game, but the TCU's just been ice cold all game long.
Emmanuel Miller misses the last one, made 2. 62-48. It's a 14-point ball game now. 2:37 to go. Nunn brings it up. Gets it off to Dennis. Bounces it off now. Meesey. Davis gets around Anderson. Lost the handle on it. Frogs grab it. Here comes Nelson. Feeds it off Peavy. Slips down, keeps his dribble somehow. Bounces it back out to Nelson. Looks for Anderson. Jameer keeps. Jameer scoop, trying to get into court, and he's fouled.
This is going to drive Scott Drew crazy, but they keep fouling TCU and letting them score. Set up their defense here at the free throw line.
Now Nelson to go to the line for 2 with 2:04 to go. 62-48. Jameer Nelson to the free throw line now.
None fouled out, so they're waiting to get a 30-second kind of mini timeout if you want it.
Take his time. None. His 5th personal foul. Leaves with 5 points and a rebound on just 1 of 6 shooting. And that'll get Miro Little in the lineup. Again, they're without the services of Langston Love, terrific sophomore out of Universal City, Texas. Averaging 11 points. He's missed now, 5 of the last 6 games with an ankle injury.
So Little's a 72% free throw shooter, but he's only taken 18 on the season. So if a guy like that, without a lot of attempts on the season, gets the ball, you want to try to foul him, of course. If you want to, I think you can get to a point here. You get to 12, it's a 4-possession game. You can start fouling now.
Freshman from Finland is Little. Second free throw is good for Jameer. 2:04 to go. Guarantee the Frogs don't foul. Dennis, forecourt it comes now to Walter.
They should at the very least go trap. Just try to force some action here. Make Baylor be strong with the ball. You can't just let him dribble out front here.
Anderson working on Dennis.
It's only 7 fouls. You get 2 more 1-and-1s as well. Right. So I mean, you got it.
You would think. Away from the ball here, Cork is going to commit a foul running into.
And I'm okay with that because you put Misi on the line now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were waiting for. Let Misi come out for a screen and say, Xavier Cork. Oh, I'm sorry, I ran him over.
58% free throw shooter. Misi would go there for 1-on-1 now.
That actually worked out really well for the Frogs. A little too much time going off the clock. Still 20 seconds went off.
I don't think he was playing.
I think you're right. I mean, but listen, that's part of that is Scott Drew's got him on the floor, right?
Yep. Coles comes in now for Cork.
Oh, now why Jacoby Walters on the free throw line? Wasn't that foul on Misi?
I thought it was Misi. Might have been Walter.
It was on Cork, but either way, anyway.
Don't say anything. Peavy with the rebound, back the other way. Micah gives it off to Emmanuel Miller. Trailing is Micah Peavy for 3. That was off the mark. 1 and done for the Frogs. Slapped away by Anderson. Little comes up with it. Little in the backcourt. That's who you wanted to foul, but you didn't do it. Now back the other way. Frogs in chase with 1:25 to go. Bounce it out front. Little gives it up now to Dennis. Time just run it off here with 1:16 to play. On the shot clock, 4. Bounces it right, catch, shoot in the corner. It's a buzzer. That one doesn't go. And the rebound now, Anderson. Banged around a couple of times and out of bounds off of TCU. It'll be Baylor's ball.
So maybe it's a never say die attitude that I have here, but you got to foul early in that possession. You just got to foul early in that possession. It's a minute and a half to go. It's a 4-possession game. You got a 1-and-1. You missed the front end of the 1-and-1. If Peavy would have made that shot down here, it's a 3-possession game with only a minute 30 to go. That ball is going to be off of. No, I couldn't tell.
It's hard to say. They're reviewing it right now.
They are reviewing it, but I don't know. I'd never say die, right? I've seen too many wild and crazy things, especially with 1-and-1 in college basketball.
Yep, I'm with you.
Foul him, man. Put him on the line, extend the game. If Peavy hits that one, he hits it to 9. Put him on the line again, miss another front end, you come down here another 3. Now you got a 6-point game with a minute 15 to go. Guess what? Ball game on.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Right now it's a 12 with 59.8 left. Review continues here. They're trying to determine who this ball went off of. Off of TCU,
but even if they get it into the front court, you don't foul right away. You had a chance to foul Little on the basket, you don't do it.
That's what you do.
You bring it across. You got Ray J. Dennis just dribbling the ball out front, put some pressure on him. Just slap at the ball like you're trying to get a steal. You might get one
because he's just standing out
there. He's just going to stand there, run the clock.
The
clock is your enemy right now more than anything, besides your own shooting in this game. But the clock is the enemy. You got to extend the game.
Frog shooting just 35% from the floor in this ball game. in this second half. For the game, it's 32%.
Yeah, it's just a tough night shooting all around for the Frogs, who've been shooting the ball very well. 48% on the season, top scoring team in the Big 12, which is kind of amazing to say. They've been really efficient. Top fast break scoring team in the country. Tonight, only 7 fast break points.
Baylor's basketball. They'll inbound right in front of the Baylor bench.
And something tells me they're going to let them dribble out another 30 seconds on this right here.
Yep. Or at least 20, which is where the shot clock is right now.
So these are coming to a double right there. Good. Yep. Great. Turnover.
Yep.
How about that?
Out of bounds.
Amazing.
TCU's basketball.
You double team the guy at top, and the first thing he does is turn it over. It took off 6 seconds off the clock.
Now 53.7 to go.
At least you're active and trying.
Right. We should have done that with about 2.5 to go.
Correct.
Here's Nelson. Off now to Peavy. Peavy in traffic. Steps through. Bumped and fouled again. Scott Drew is livid. He can't believe they committed another foul.
Yeah, he's yelling at his own team, too. He's not yelling at the officials.
Now Peavy to the line with 49.2 to go.
Looking back at the Frogs, could have just made a few extra shots. Open looks that they've been knocking down, especially like a Jacoby Cole's missed a few 15-footers that he's been knocking down consistently all season long. Just unable to convert today.
Peavy misses.
Frogs had been very good at the free throw line in this game, too. 14 out of 16 until that miss, and now 14 out of 17.
One of 2 for Peavy. 49.2 to go. Inbounds. Double team. Get in the forecourt. 45 left. Now Jamie Dixon wants him to foul.
I don't want you to send another double team. It worked last time, no?
Yeah. Now they're not fouling. Down to 30 seconds left. 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, don't foul now. Wrap-around pass went through the hands of the big man, Vesey. Back it comes. They don't get a shot off, but they don't care. 18.5 to go, and Baylor watches that one run out. Now TCU with the basketball down by 11. Baylor's going to win 4 in a row now in Fort Worth. 7 of the last 10 in this series here. Here's Peavy for 3 in the corner. Got that one. 8.5 to go. 62-54. It's an 8-point game with 8.5 to go. And a timeout taken by Jamie Dixon. The Baylor bench just shakes their head with 8.5 to go. The lead's 8. Hard to do much here. The final 8.5 if you're TCU. Down 8.
Yeah, it's really, I don't think I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in basketball. I don't think I've seen that come back down 8.
Yeah.
Down
8 with 8 to go.
Yeah, big game for Baylor this weekend, though. They got Kansas coming to town.
Yes, they do.
So still opportunities here. TCU with a tough game going on the road to Provo. BYU's had a really nice team this year. Tough place to play. But coming into this game, TCU and Baylor tied in the standings. Standings can flip very fast in this league. TCU just on Saturday was in 7th place. Woke up on Sunday in 4th place after BYU lost, Baylor lost, and Texas Tech all lost. So a lot can change in a couple of games.
Baylor with the basketball now with 8.5 to go. 62-54. They put all 5 players on the end line. Run them off. Little. Inbounds, and that's going to do it. They'll dribble it out. Will Jacoby Walter. Baylor's going to get the victory here in Fort Worth tonight. 62-54 will be the final score as the Frogs fall in this one. Baylor improves to 20-8 on the season. They're now 9-6 in Big 12 action. Frogs drop to 19-9 and 8-7 in league play. Back at it again on Saturday. Frogs take on BYU.
Tough game,
Yes.
but guess what? Every game in this league is another opportunity to get another big road win and be another quad one win if you can get it on the road there at BYU. So Frogs got to take probably a day off tomorrow and then regroup and get ready for Provo.
62-54 the final as Baylor wins this one on TCU. Wrap-up show starts next after this local timeout here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, Horned Frog Nation. This is Chauncey Franks with Fellowship Christian Athletes at TCU. I am blown away by what